I guess I would like to transition now from stories, a story about despair to a story about one man standing up. One man standing up in the face of the slings and arrows of the haters and the U.S. government, and bringing inspiration, a hero that we need. I am, of course, talking about Long Island Republican George Santos.
And the next time he tries to accost me with a child in my hand, I want him out of here. What happened exactly? He's an animal. I am holding a child. He is a fucking terrorist sympathizer.
Because the New York Republican Party is getting ready to oust him. They're getting ready to kick him out of government, which I think is totally unfair and evil. I mean, if there's one guy who deserves to be in the U.S. government right now, it's George Santos.
Yeah.
And now this is like coming on the heels of, like, in addition to all of the other absolutely ludicrous lies that he told, apparently he's also just doing straight up credit card fraud to his supporters.
I mean, like, and baby theft.
Yeah.
Okay. He's had a great week.
That was like a non-consensual rental. He was going to return the baby.
Do you know what he said when they, like, the reporter asked him, "Is that your baby?" He said, "Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We don't know how this process works. I don't know how I'm going to get this baby." But I'd say I'm pretty much, I have it tucked under my arm like a fucking football. I'd say that I'm pretty close to having this be my baby at this point.
There's a lot of advantages to rent to own.
The idea that you can get, that there's such a thing as being like excommunicated from Long Island is really inspiring to me. That you can like get to the level where like even like the guy that like tried to get in a fight at Bagel Boss, they're like, "You're not my mother," guy, that he's just like, "Get him out of here. This is seriously too much. I can't have this guy around." Is really like, it's nice to know that there's like always, you know, a bigger mountain to climb.
Yeah, some sense of Long Island propriety. It is nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Greg, Opie Hughes, and Anthony Camilla, they come together to issue condemnation.
What the establishment truly fears.
Now, and now, Felix, you bring up him carrying that baby around and saying that it was not his yet. That was in the middle of him having a temper tantrum when a reporter asked him a question. There's news reports. I mean, like, there's all kinds. It's just shit is flying now. People are saying he's not really gay. People are saying he has a sister that's hot. People that looks just like him. Even though, I mean, like, people are saying there might not even be a real George Santos. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But keep in mind, okay, like the baby thing. He said not yet. Maybe he was seeking to adopt that baby to replace the niece that had been kidnapped by Chinese communists.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. Every part of that's so good. I love the idea of like Chinese intelligence being like, how do we get to the American government? Who's the most powerful and most respected guy they have? George Santos. Get his fucking niece. Scotty Burberry fans, be aware.
Yes. Yes.
It feels like one of those things where it's like an attempt to broadcast to the base in a certain way. That story especially, where being like, the Chinese came to the playground and took this child. It's like basically in a week or two, if he hasn't been jailed by then, that he's going to do the thing where there's like ladies that live like 30 miles outside of Nashville and find like a zip tie on their car door and call the FBI.
Yeah.
Like he's at that level of kind of just sort of being the main character of an extremely sprawling, Baroque, paranoid fantasy, which is, I guess, like, again, you know, that's like constituent service, I guess, for a lot of people, but he's maybe he's too good at it.
So yeah, he's currently under indictment for identity theft and credit card fraud.
Now, is that bad?
Credit card fraud, I just want to point out, is like incredibly low rent. It's an insanely low rent.
You get no respect in prison if you're in there for credit card fraud.
Yeah.
But I just want to read here because this is truly great. It says, this week, Grace Ashford, one of the Times reporters who broke the story of Santos's largely made-up background, revealed that the New York congressman recently struck up a phone relationship with her. While describing the trials his family has been through in the last year, Santos shared a story about his young niece. Quote, I'll give you one story that nobody talks about, he replied, before telling me about how his 5-year-old niece disappeared from a playground in Queens.
Traditional Long Island conversation opener. Here's another thing. And then you just... it off.
So his knee. Okay, so
here's something no one likes talking about. No one likes to admit that my niece was taken by the Chinese.
So this is their his 5-year-old niece disappeared from a playground in Queens, only to be located 40 minutes later on a surveillance camera with 2 Chinese men. He said the incident was the subject of an active police investigation, implying heavily that it might have been in retaliation for his vocal stance against the Chinese Communist Party. So you think it
How
was
could
China?
it not be?
So you think it was China?
That's
I asked,
Stockham's razor
clarifying.
right there.
Yeah.
Look, I don't want to go into like conspiracy theory, he said, but if the shoe fits, right? Qui bono, qui
Yeah,
bono.
think about it.
Yep.
Who benefits from the taking of George Santos's niece for a half an hour?
Columbo, you are not needed.
When do you think these phone calls are happening? Because that has a real like 1:51 a.m. like I got another thing like sort of feeling to it. Like that is not that conversation is not had during the daytime.
Yeah, George Santos's phone calls have a quality that like I've previously only seen in Donald Trump, where like even a written statement, it's like whoever composed this was wearing a bathrobe while they did it.
Yeah,
Another niece obliterated.
Sad. That's the real human cost of politics. People talk about it like it's just, team blue and team red, but no one talks about when the Chinese Communist Party briefly redirects your niece from a playground because you shook Ennis Cantor's hand in a picture or something like that.
I guess this is like the politics of personal destruction people were talking about. If you want to get into politics, make sure you have a niece to spare.
Yeah,
it's like why people used to have like 12 kids. This is something that would happen to Jax Teller.
His niece was briefly taken to Ireland.
Yeah.
God bless George Santos, though. I mean, like he is the politician we need right now, and by that I mean someone guilty of credit card fraud and identity theft.
I do. Okay, so like we're talking about Israeli politics. Everyone in the Knesset is like this, but also if they were like, we need to kill every Arab infant. Like it's like this, but then like once you're having fun, they'll just say something that Hitler said.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Santos. I think though. I feel like I've been through like I got sick of him real fast, and then like at this point now that we're sort of getting ready to say goodbye and playing the in memoriam montage from the Oscars, and I'm thinking about like. Do you remember the debate that he had on television in his district where he just repeated the answer that his opponent gave about what he liked to do in his time off?
Yes.
He just like right down to like the brand of ice cream that they enjoyed. No one's doing it like him. Like nobody is going to be able to repeat that sort of performance. I think we should treasure it before he is jailed for identity theft.
Yeah. It really will be sad.